And in New Zealand, I think you managed it very well to mix this carbon-rich, not waste, resources. I really like your way of looking at this. Your carbon-rich resources, or in German we have this Sekundärrohstoffe oder so secondary resources. I don't know if you can directly translate that. So carbon-rich, and also you found some protein-rich resources from I think the milk industry. You already mentioned it. So can you give us a little bit? Can you take us into how you managed to find the right mixture for your worm farm, for your company, and also how you got to these huge amounts of resources you treated? I think you mentioned about more than 200,000 tons. I think you also had to go up to 500,000. Could you tell us a little bit where you are at the moment? And because this is, when we're talking about 100,000, 200,000 tons a year, this is massive. Can you tell us how many worms were working for you? Did you estimate it, or did you do your calculations here?
Yeah. So I tried to take it step by step. So I had the carbon, so I need to find the nitrogen. And from my background in Germany, I was looking at, there's a lot of biosolids, sewage sludge. So, and all this is landfill as well. So this was an easy approach, easy to mix. Other waste streams I started instantly were, we call it DEF, dissolved air flotation. It's the cream, the fat in a milk plant. Actually, it's like, cream. It's very fatty, full of nitrogen, smells horrible, and you can apply it on the farmland, but it does more harm to the soil than any good. So I mixed these and lake weeds. So a lot of weeds growing in the lakes and rivers, and they need to be extracted. And so another source of nitrogen. So I was combining those, and it doesn't matter what I did, everything was successful. If you got the ratio right, some ratios were a bit strange. As a scientist, you do a control, 100% biosolids, the worms didn't touch it. The other 100% pulpal solids as another control, the worms didn't touch it. But in between, as soon as you got a reasonable ratio, the worms loved it. Sometimes a bit faster, sometimes a bit slower. At the end, it didn't matter because the worms just ate it. That's important, because in worm farming, I can't force the worms to eat it. In the laboratory, I can put it into a jar, into a bucket, put the worms in, put a lid on, make sure there are a few holes for air and so on. So I can force the worms. But in nature, if I do it commercially, I can't. The worms need to join the party, or they're gone. They say, bye-bye, Michael, and I'm not in business. And this is how it started. And I instantly could see, yeah, that's working. And then it all comes back to the economics. How are we going to do this?